Hello! Today on the Chrissy D Show, we're going to do something a little bit fun. We're going to have some fun. We're going to do something a little bit silly. I'm really close today. Do you like how close I am? I'm closer than usual. I'm just trying out some stuff. Today, the plan is to help out some musicians in need. I'd like to start this video by just saying that I have been in bands that are about this level of bad. And this isn't meant to just poke fun at these terrible people or anything like that at all. The idea is that maybe I can coach these musicians that are bad and help them somehow. If they're still playing, that is. This video was uploaded a while ago. Maybe they're not doing it anymore. Maybe they're not interested. Maybe it was just a thing that they did for fun. And that's cool. That's what music's about. It's about having fun. So let's, without further ado, have a look at this track. I'd like to thank Roll Jacobs for this upload. This is Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses, but not by Guns N' Roses, by someone else. Let's see what we got. So right off the bat, we've got the classic old school scrolling text intro. Don't do that one. We've also got Bruno on guitar and Douglas on bateria, which tells me this is a group of people from a Spanish-speaking country. That's relevant because of the vocals. So we're going to go easy on the vocals. They're all shirtless. That's, yeah. Not that I've never been shirtless playing music, but I don't think I've ever been in a band where we're all shirtless. Okay. It's hot. What can you do? Here come the clicks. Okay, so the clicks happened, which went like this, and the music that followed was not in time with that click, so the clicks were pretty much irrelevant. The guitarist may as well have just started. He started way faster than the clicks, so listening is already not happening. Few things. A lot of things. Let's start with the obvious thing. The drummer has come in too soon for this track. If you want to play the track to the recorded track, because it starts with a kind of a jingly ride cymbal-y thing, doesn't it? The drum beat is incorrect. It's not too far off, but the placement of the bass drum is wrong. The beat, I believe, goes do 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 do. He's going do 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 do. Okay. None of them are playing together. None. Stop. Just stop. Stop. Just stop. This is harder than I thought it was going to be, actually. Like, where do you begin on this? So none of them are actually playing any of the correct parts. None of them are playing in time with themselves, never mind with each other. When you start an instrument, you tend to focus on playing the notes correctly, which is understandable. You're not certain of the next note coming, and it's not done, you haven't got to the muscle memory stage yet. So it can be quite difficult, even for intermediates and beyond, to, if they're learning a song, to be able to listen to where they're meant to be in relation to everyone else. So it's understandable that because none of these people can play any of the parts yet, that they are not syncing up with each other either. They are completely focused and immersed in their own playing and just are unable to open their ears to what is happening. The guitarist plays the riff faster in order to catch up with what he thinks is the correct time and where he should be. Don't do that. Don't ever speed up to get back to where you need to be with your musician pals, because it's much better to stop and get back, figure out where you need to be, and then start again, rather than speeding up like he does there. Vocals. I have a policy with vocals that is, unless you're doing an all-out tribute act, do not be so concerned with sounding exactly like the person you're trying to imitate, because with the voice in particular, the human voice, it's not going to be good. It's not good for your voice, for starters, to strain it like this guy is brutally straining his voice. It's also never going to sound exactly the same. It's very unlikely. People get very close, for sure, with a lot of training. Or if you're very, very lucky and you happen to be born with a vocal type that suits the style that you like. Me, for instance, I really wanted a rock, Bon Scott, AC/DC sort of a voice, but I got this. And it's very good at doing this kind of singing, which is like this, what? I don't know, 1920s white guy ballad voice. But if I went to sing something a bit hardier, I have to work really hard and drink whiskey and do all sorts of things to get this kind of a little bit of edge in my voice. I just don't have a strong voice. And if I went to do a Brian Johnson from AC/DC or an Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses, it's going to be awful. It's going to have no power behind it. It's going to hurt my voice. It's going to be much harder to breathe and phrase the song properly. And this guy is also suffering from bad timing, which just everything culminates in a very horrible vocal performance. That I would suggest to him, just forget about the impression. Forget about doing an impression of Axl Rose and sing the song. You know, start from there. That's what I'd say. Whoa. I will give them some kind of a pass over the fact that this is probably the second language that they're singing in. So that can massively affect how your diction is with the vocal as well. It's going to be way harder. Like, I just imagine singing in a different language, a language you don't know too well. It's going to be really tough to get good diction and projection on those words and confidence even singing those words. So I'm going to just leave the vocalist alone now for a while. The tempo is not a consistent one, and that is the drummer's job. The drummer's job is to lead everyone in tempo, and whatever tempo the drummer is at, because the drummer has a very definite beat that he's working with. It cuts through and dominates the band regarding tempo and pace. So the responsibility does fall with the drummer. And if the drummer is lagging or slowing or speeding up, which actually happens in the original track, Sweet Child of Mine, the tempo is a lot faster at the end of the track than it is in the beginning. Have a listen. I like their gusto though. I do like their gusto. Let's look at some lead guitar. There is evidence that he's actually learning the solo and trying to play the solo. Some of the bends and stuff aren't doing it. They're not quite right. He's almost there. Really is almost there. Probably knows the solo better than I do. But there's a lot of work to be done. Electric guitar is funny because with drums, I found with starting with drums, if you learn a beat or two or six, and you can strike the drums and the hi-hat and the kick drum in a pattern that works, you can make the drums sound good very quickly, okay? Electric guitar and piano and stuff like that, it doesn't happen for a long time. Violin, are you kidding me? It takes a long time and a huge amount of practice to get guitar to sound good, because you could be playing the right notes, but if you haven't got the right touch yet, and you haven't worked on your bends and the accuracy of your bends and the vibrato and the notes and the placement of your fingers and the muscle memory that's involved, there's a lot more precision involved, in my opinion, as speaking as a drummer. I play a little bit of guitar, but I've never got to a level on guitar that I'm really comfortable with. And I've always worked quite hard at guitar. So when you're starting a guitar, you almost need to mature by yourself a little bit longer than you would maybe on drums. But I would say fair play for getting this band together and doing something. It is about just enjoying yourself, isn't it? I know I'm slating them, but, well, I'm aiming for constructive criticism. That's what I'm aiming for. I'm not aiming to slate them. So the vocalist is the bass player, and I have not heard him play one note correctly yet. And that makes the solo impossible to sound good. Impossible. Everything's a bit off, which makes everything sound way worse than it would be with another month's worth of training. I would say that there is some hope for these guys. And I don't know how much more I can listen to this. There was actually some velocity in what he was doing on the lead guitar. There was actually playing with some amount of accuracy, and that's something I've always struggled with, is speed on the guitar. I think all of their instruments are out of tune. And again, that makes it impossible to make good things happen. You've got to, the first thing you do when you pick up your instrument for the first time ever is ask your teacher or find out, how do I tune this every time? How do I tune my guitar every time? How do I tune my drums? Yes, drums do need to be tuned. I'm pretty sure the bass guitar is completely out of tune. Yeah. So that's the breakdown. Again, wrong drum beat and all of the above, everything that's been talked about, just continuing. I like his hat. I do like his hat. I think that's all I can watch. My advice to these guys is to, that's if they're still going, and you know, this was posted ages ago, but if they were performing in front of me today, my advice would be don't meet together for at least a month and go and learn this song really well. Now, there is another thing about this. That is playing your instrument or singing along to a track, to the original song, for instance, if they're going home and playing along to Guns N' Roses, is very different to playing with other musicians, because there are other factors and other shifts in tempo and things that that maybe aren't there, that you wish were there. I remember I was in a rock covers band quite a while ago now. The singer absolutely, like, he would stop practices and go, hang on a minute, I'm not hearing something and it's really throwing me off. And, you know, after some discussion, we would realize that it was like a one crash cymbal that I wasn't hitting at that exact moment that's in the track. And he would say, I need that, or else I just don't know where I'm at. I need that one crash, otherwise I get lost. It's just an example of, you know, singing along to the track, perfect every time, no problem. I know know what I'm doing. I sound great. When it's up to just you doing the vocals, or it's just you on lead guitar, it gets quite scary and it's a very different thing. So my advice is play along to some backing tracks, perhaps. Play along with a metronome. Try and get through the track by yourself rather than always playing along with the track. It is good to play along with the track, but make sure you're listening to yourself and you know how good you are and what stage you're at with the song. I'd say go away for a month, meet up again, and I'm sure it would be better. Hey, so, you know, they've got balls, and it's not always easy. Oh, it's very, very purpley back here. And that's it. That's what do you guys think? Did you like this? Do you want to see more of this? Yeah, if you're starting a band, or then maybe this was useful to you, maybe not, I don't know. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, do all those things, and I'll see you on the next thing. Where do we go now? Where do we go?